Hi, it's Jen. Thanks for tuning into this video. Apologize in advance that my brain is kind of mush right now. This is probably about the 7th time I'm trying to record this video because I didn't get enough sleep last night. And to be honest, I'm just kind of have that sluggish overall feeling for quite some time. It's just life during the pandemic, I think especially, has just been a bit tiring of late. So I just wanted to put out a video where I could talk about the newest build, what changes I've made, and what changes I hope to make in the future. So the newest build that's out right now, Chapter 4, is implemented. It is missing 2 sprites, so I apologize for that in advance. I just didn't want to sit on this on the last couple months at work. For those of you who might have been waiting for this update, I know that I had said a couple videos back that I had planned on having it out sooner than later. And so for those of you who have been waiting for it, I just didn't want to keep you waiting. If you haven't been waiting for it and you want to wait until the sprites are implemented fully, then I'm not gonna say when anymore because life just happens, and yeah, I never know exactly how that's gonna go these days. So right now, Chapter 4 is fully implemented. All the scripts are there. I've done a couple pass-throughs and different routes, different playthroughs, and everything seems to be working on my end. So I hope everything is stable and coherent for you on your end, that the dialogue isn't too jarring and the call statements aren't too jarring and stand out in any way. I was utilizing the call statements more so in this chapter than any of the others as far as like the progression of dialogue, and I think that it was relatively successful, but let me know your thoughts on that. With that said, I'm getting towards the end of this game, at least for these 2 character routes, so that is super exciting for me. When I started this project back in January, the beginning of this year, I didn't have that high of hopes for myself. I figured that I would be in a good place if I had the first chapter done, that was a pretty ambitious goal. And so, needless to say, I'm really excited to be so far into this game, and I already have ideas for like the next game that I want to make, but I promise you I won't get into that right now. Other changes that were made to this build are in the character relationship branches, which can be triggered in Chapter 2 or Chapter 3. It's not a whole lot of changes, but I did add some extra dialogue to provide a little more insight onto how the characters are feeling, especially the protagonist, in those story moments. I think I have a tendency to be a little hesitant in being too direct with how the characters are feeling, because I want the reader to be able to relate to the characters, so I try to more infer how they're feeling, but taking a step back, sometimes it just ends up being a little bit confusing, so I decided to add a little bit more clarification, and I will be going back and adding a bit more clarification throughout the script and all the chapters, with my primary goal to be towards putting a little bit more focus on the main theme of the story, because I think that is one thing that I shouldn't leave too vague. I will probably be doing that before I move on to the epilogue and some of the more unique artwork that I plan on implementing in Chapter 4 and in those the final epilogue as well. Just want to make sure that I kind of have a more focused story before I wrap it all up. So that's my plans going into 2021. That's my plans for future updates. My dear friend Carrie is still working on the soundtrack, and she has a couple more tracks created, and that update will be coming in the future as well, so I'm super excited about that, and I hope that you enjoy her music as much as I do. That said, I hope that you all have a fantastic holiday season. Please be safe, and don't forget to enjoy that process. Okay, bye now. Thanks again so much for supporting my project. I really do appreciate it. Take care.